Bob Nightingale, okay, today, Major League Baseball is investigating cyber hate messages directed towards the 13-year-old nephew of Arizona Diamondbacks outfielder Tommy Pham. Pham had a verbal altercation with Padres fans over the weekend in San Diego, with Mets owner Steve Cohen and DBacks manager Torey Lovullo coming to his defense. That's the latest. This past weekend was a little odd. Pham, verbal altercation, a Padres fan, was ejected. What do you make of everything that's playing out revolving around Tommy Pham right now?
It's weird. And I think whoever is on the internet trolling a 13-year-old who is the nephew of a professional baseball player that you happen to, I guess, not like, and that you continuously troll them and think that, it's funny because Tommy Pham gives you a reaction, you got some problems. Like, you got some major problems. And I don't know the extent of what was said over the weekend to Tommy Pham, but I would bet that it wasn't what they're saying they didn't say. Like, the fans are, I didn't say anything. Like, then why did Tommy Pham freak out? Like, I believe something was said more than just boo, go strike out. Like, I do.
And there's a line. I mean, I'll use me as an example. I don't like Tommy Pham. I don't like Tommy Pham, but there's a big difference between not liking Tommy Pham and taking it to a personal level with him in a ballpark and literally cursing and screaming and vulgarities. It's one thing to boo Tommy Pham. It's another thing to make it overly personal. And oh, by the way, it's not like what happened in San Diego with Tommy Pham is some example of something that only happens here or has never happened with a fan base and a player. This does happen. There's no question about it. I think it's very unfair to completely paint the Padres fan base with this brush.
Totally.
With that being said, this has gone too far. And by the way, the online stuff this is happening way too often.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Right. And this is happening across all sports. This happens in college sports constantly. How could you go to Ohio State, not Michigan? How could you miss that kick?
Yeah.
I hope you whatever because you missed that. So it's the internet.
Like the internet, yeah.
Everything happens on the internet. So the internet doesn't surprise me. Some of the stuff in the ballpark doesn't overly surprise me, but it's gone too far.
Well, there's always, kind of the unwritten rule that whether, you don't like a coach or a manager or a politician or anything, you just leave their kids and just kids out of it in general because they don't have anything to do with this.
Like little kids. So what are we doing?
I don't like Tommy Pham either. And, he had a history of being an instigator for, just situations like that when he was here, which is, we always get those texts on the text line about, oh, we should bring Tommy. It's like, no, we shouldn't. I'm glad he's gone. I don't want him back because this stuff seemed to happen all the time when he was here. Remember, he tried to fist fight a fan where he pretty much chased him after the game out into not the lobby, but out into the concourse area. And, he had that other incident where the fan, allegedly said something to him and the fan said he didn't say anything, but he had him kicked out. So it was always one thing or another with him. But yeah, you just leave the kids out of it.
I think that Tommy Pham replying to people on Twitter, a bunch of
that
and
probably
Instagram.
Doesn't help.
Now it was like I looked at Tommy Pham's Instagram over the weekend, and he was posting DMs from people just like like cussing him out, like F you and just sending them DMs they're like, really? Like, why?
I mean, and by the way, nobody's condoning that, but like, if you looked at the DMs of young people on the internet and what people are sending to them or other this is a part of the world that we live in, unfortunately. And when you're a public figure, I mean, shoot, we get hate on social media. Jim's an idiot. John's an idiot.
Yeah.
Jim is clueless. I mean, it doesn't rise usually to an absurd level, like they're contacting like family members of ours. You can only imagine something like that. So in that regard, that's obviously gone too far. What happened in the ballpark, for whatever reason, I'm surprised it's been elevated to this point. Because like I said, not that I'm condoning what's happened at a Knicks game or a Red Sox game or a Cowboys game. I guess my point is it does happen, unfortunately. The fact that like we're getting managers involved,
getting owners involved
to me is a little bit surprising. The fan behavior towards an athlete has risen to the level that an owner is speaking out against that behavior. I feel like that behavior, again, not to condone the behavior, I feel like that behavior might be occurring every day across professional sports, sadly.
And if you have another team and the manager of that team, Torey Lovullo, saying these things publicly, shouldn't there be like some type of investigation going on by the I mean, we see every single game that we go to. They're always put up on the video board. If you see fan behavior misconduct, please contact this number or text this number and we will get involved. Like, shouldn't there have be like something along the lines of like, how does this happen? Like, why is a manager from another team and a player getting this upset about potential fans harassment? And we're just like, nah, nothing. It's fine.
No, hold on. The fan was ejected.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham asked for the fan to be ejected, and the fan was. You're not going to listen. There's a lot of people in a ballpark, right? And people are going to say things.
Totally.
It doesn't excuse some of the things that are said. My thought process on it is I feel like it's unfairly painting the Padres fan base.
100%.
Where just because there may be a bad apple in there, that's like all fan bases.
Yeah.
So what Tommy Pham may have had to deal with, again, I think might be unfortunate, but I feel as if that type of behavior could happen anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that it happened, listen, things have been heightened with Tommy Pham and the Padres. There was the collision with Hassan Kim. He didn't necessarily perform his 2 years here. Again, I think it's okay not to like the player. I think it's okay to boo the player. When you take it to a personal level, when you go after his family members, when you go after 13-year-old kids,
some serious
problems. You have problems.
Major problems.